Hey everyone, welcome back to the Book Cave with me, Jenny. So today I'm going to do an end of the year TBR pick from my little basket here of TBRs. I'm sorry, you can hear the dogs playing in the background. But yeah, I've got a whole bunch of different prompts in here. I'm going to pick between 6 and 12 depending on what I get. So let's see. Our first prompt is glamorous cover. Well, that's going to be kind of a hard one. I will see what I can find and let you all know. So I found 3 books for glamorous cover. I have Daisy Hates, which just the sparkly shoes and the stretch limo kind of sounds very glamorous to me, so I picked up that. Then I picked up the Princess Spy, and obviously, you know, a glamorous dress there, and a very pretty staircase. And then finally, her Radiant Curse, which is more just from the word radiant being in it. So, yeah. Daisy Hates, I think, is the one I'm going to pick. I wanted to read this anyways, so yeah, that will work out perfectly for me. So that's the first book on our TBR. So the second prompt, let me see if I can get in a little deeper here. Okay, here's a prompt. And that is new to me author. So let's see, I have quite a few for this as well, so I'll see what I pick. For this prompt, I found 4 books. So we have Immortal Dark, Leech, The Bone Ships, and Hamajang Luck. So this is going to be kind of a hard one because obviously 3 of these are were on my 25 to read in 2025. However, the Bone Ships is one that I'm not sure about just because I feel like this would be more summer. So I feel like it's going to be between Leech and Immortal Dark. I feel like Immortal Dark has more romance. So I think what I want to do is go with Leech, because this one just sounds really interesting and creepy to me. So yeah, book 2 will be Leech. For my third prompt, I have Pastel Cover. This is another one that I believe I have quite a few for. So let's see what I can find there. I found 2 for this prompt, and that is Elsie Silver's Wild Side, and then When Haru Was Here. I think for this one, I will go with a Wild Side. So that is book 3. And let's see here, on to book 4. Try to find one a little further in here. And this one, I got Purple Cover. And I think I know exactly which one I'm going to go with for this, but I'm going to go ahead and pick a couple options. For Purple Cover, I picked 3. Wild Card by Elsie Silver, The Wicked Ones by Robin Benway, and then Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambo. So let's see. And I really want to read all 3 of these. They are all for different projects. However, I think I'm going to go with Wild Card just so I can finish up Elsie Silver's Rose Hill series, since I did put book 3 on there. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 books so far. And let me put these aside. Okay. And then little basket again. For book 5, I have another color one, blue cover. So let's see what I can pick for this. I know I have a lot. I found 3 for blue cover as well. We have Cherish Farah, which is a really light blue. Then we have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which is, again, a really light blue. And then Under the Oak Tree, that has a good bit of blue in it. Although, honestly, that kind of looks more green now that I'm looking at it. So I think I'm going to put that one aside. And as much as I want to read Atmosphere, I think I have to go with Cherish Farah, because this is also in my 25 for 2025. So yeah, I'm going to go with Cherish Farah for my 5th pick. And then, let's see here. For prompt number 6, we have, is that one? Sprayed Edges. So this one I'm going to say I want to use more as just solid color edges, because I do have stenciled edges as well. And I know I've got a few options for this, so let me see what I have. I found 2 for this one as well. I have The Nightmare Before Christmas, which is red, and Behooved, which is this pinkish purple. Now, while they both sound interesting, I feel like I need to go with The Nightmare Before Christmas, because the title reminds me of The Nightmare Before Christmas. So yeah, kind of a no-brainer. I'm going to go with that one. So now to pick book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Book 7. Okay. We have this one right here, which is nonfiction. And I have 3 or 4 for that. So let's see what I pick. This one I found 4 books for. I have Dark Archives, Islands of Abandonment, Gory Details, and then Murakami Tea. For this one, I think I'm going to put Islands of Abandonment definitely back, because I want to concentrate on books that I've had for a while, and that one I got from the library this year. So that leaves these 3. And I think the one I've had the longest is Murakami Tea. So I do think I will go with this for book 7. And then for book number 8, we have, let me get one from the bottom kinda. So I got 2 there. We'll do this one. For this one, I got Orange Cover. I feel like I'm just pulling all the colors that I put in here right now. So let me see what I can find for that. For Orange Cover, I also found 3, although I feel like some of these are pushing it a little bit. We got Frederick Bachman's Anxious People. I consider that kind of like a deep orange. Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power, which is kind of more of a brownish, but it still does have some orange in it. And then the first manga that I have to pick, and that is number 6, which the spine is definitely orange. And let's see, these are all 3 books that I have had for quite a while. I feel like I want to do either Anxious People or number 6. I think I'm going to go with number 6 for our first manga on the list. And we are up to now book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to go ahead and pick 2 more to make this 10. So our second to last is this one right here. And I'm going to put this one back. It's released in April. And I kind of don't want to do that. So I'm giving myself one do-over. My TBR, my rules. So let's pick another one. And that is traveling. So I meant this to be a prompt either like a travelogue or where the characters go on a journey. So for this prompt, I have The Girl with No Reflection, which is Korean inspired. Yes. Then I have Dragon Fruit, which is Native Hawaiian. And then lastly, I have Ahama Jane Luck, pardon me, which is Pacific Islander inspired. And let's see, out of these 3, I think I'm going to skip Dragon Fruit because that feels very much more summery. It's obviously like got a pirate theme. And of these 2, The Girl with No Reflection is on my 2025 list. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to go with The Girl with No Reflection for my final book. So I'm going to clean up my mess and then we'll go over all these books. Editing Jenny here. So I had a whole thing recorded and it was too big to upload to my video editing. So I'm just going to redo my little go over the books that I had and see if I can get it to work with me. So we had, for a new to me author, was the book Leech by Herein Ends. And this follows the, okay. So this follows it's isolated chateau, which is as far north as north goes. The Baron's doctor has died. The doctor's replacement has a mystery to solve. How the Institute lost track of one of its many bodies. For hundreds of years, the Interprovincial Medical Institute has grown by taking root in young minds and shaping them into doctors, replacing every human practitioner of medicine. The Institute is here to help humanity, to cure and to cut, to cradle and protect the species from the apocalyptic horrors their ancestors unleashed. In the frozen north, the Institute's body will discover a competitor for its rung at the top of the evolutionary ladder. A parasite is spreading. The two will make war on the battlefield of the body. Whichever wins, humanity will lose again. Yeah, this just sounds really interesting and really dark. I did think this was a dark academia. I didn't realize it was not in a school. For a blue cover, I picked Cherish Farah. This is a social horror, and it follows 2 black girls, Farah Turner and then Cherish Whitman. Cherish was adopted by a white couple. Farah lives with her biological parents, and something happens with Farah's family. She goes to live with Cherish, and it turns out things aren't quite as good as they seem. And it just sounded kind of like interesting and creepy, and I do enjoy horrors that have a little bit of social commentary as well. Then for a glamorous cover, I picked Daisy Hates, which is of course the first Daisy Hates side of the Magnolia Park series, and this follows Daisy, her brother Julian, and her boyfriend Christian, and this one's supposed to be better than Magnolia Parks from what I've heard, and I'm very excited to go into this, and I'm kind of just going in blind, but basically, yeah, it just sounds like everything coming at a price, and just kind of like with Magnolia. For nonfiction, I picked Murakami Tea, the t-shirts I love, and this is a book about Haruki Murakami's collection of t-shirts, and he just has like his favorites and a little picture of them, and then a little bit of, you know, why he likes them so much and everything. I haven't ever read anything by Murakami, and I saw this and it seemed like it would be pretty accessible, so I picked it up. Then for, I can't remember which one this was for. For traveling, I picked up A Labyrinth of Ice, and this is also a nonfiction. It's about the Greely Polar Expedition, which was an expedition that sailed to the North Pole. They found their way there. When they went back to camp, it turns out that the ice blocked any of their provisions from getting through. So Greely, the leader of the expedition, and his men took off in small boats and kind of got trapped on the seas. And I really enjoyed the first book I read by this author, and I believe the men who were in that book, the first 3 men to try to fly a dirigible to the North Pole, were inspired by either this or by the Karluk expedition, which is another book that he has written about. However, that one took place in 1913. This one is in 1881, so I wanted to read this one first to kind of get the history in order. Then for Asian inspired, I picked The Girl with No Reflection, and this follows Princess Ying Yu, who believed in love once upon a time. She's chosen to wed the crown prince, but her dreams of a fairy tale marriage fall apart. Her husband-to-be is cold and indifferent. He confines her to her room for reasons he won't explain. Then she hears rumors of 7 other royal brides who disappeared. All she has is a mirror, and she starts seeing strange things in there. It turns out there's a whole nother mirror realm there, and when she goes through, she finds the mirror prince, who is much nicer, and she starts to fall for him, but there's secrets, and they have to do with the other brides. It just sounds very intriguing, and this is based off of Chinese mythology. It doesn't say if there's like a specific story that it's based off on, but definitely sounds intriguing and adventurous. For a book with sprayed edges, I picked The Nightmare Before Christmas, which follows Nicholas Cole Claus, who is the youngest of the 2 princes of Christmas, and he was happy there until his father, who's the current Santa, turns it into a PR facade. He wants to escape this, so he goes to a bar and winds up meeting a guy, and he has, it says, a supremely hot makeout session with him, and then he is now required to marry his best friend, the Princess of Easter, in like an arranged marriage, and then Hex, who is the Prince of Halloween, shows up, and it turns out that he is the man that Nicholas Cole had met. And yeah, it just sounds really cute and fun and like a lot of drama, and I did want to read it earlier this year, so now I'm going to get that chance. Then I had a prompt for a pastel cover and then a prompt for a purple cover, so I picked Wild Side and Wild Card by Elsie Silver to finish off the Rose Hill series. Wild Card is about Tabitha and Rhys, and they have a marriage of convenience so that Tabitha can keep custody of her nephew. Then Wild Card is about Sebastian and Gwen, and Gwen is Sebastian's son's ex-girlfriend. He's trying to mend his relationship with his son, but these two are thrown together and forced proximity kind of fall for each other. Then the final book I picked for orange cover was number 6, more orange here. This follows an elite student named Shion who lives in the perfect city number 6, and then one night he offers an injured young man shelter from a storm, and this young man is known as Rat, who is a fugitive living outside city control. So when Shion helps him, that throws his life into chaos and starts him down the path to discovering what's actually going on in this city. So yeah, those are the 10 books that I would like to finish before the end of this year. And I always love to hear from y'all. Have you read any of these? What did you think of them? If you did, do you plan to read any of them? And what all do you plan to read the end of this year? Just let me know down below. And as always, if you liked this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Then you'll be notified every time I post a video. And I will see you next time in the book cave.